to sing for you.
Jeff, what are we hearing over there?
That's your agent. He's been looking for you for a long time.
Well, he's still looking, I guess.
Why don't we answer some questions and make this...
right over here.
Hi guys, Luca from Croatia.
Hi.
So basically, Deep Space Nine really different as opposed to the other.
Right into the mic, talk right into the mic.
Deep Space Nine different from other Star Trek series, mainly because it got really strong focus on character interaction.
It's the best.
Yeah, and extremely great dialogues. So, can you share with us what were the most special moments for you as, for example, as Quark and Odo, or amazing Jeffrey Combs as Vayu?
You know that the show is based on the Serbo-Croatian War. That's where that's right? Am I not right? That was part of the original... He doesn't, I don't know. It just paid me, you know. At least that's what I was told in the beginning, because that was happening during the time that Michael and Rick and the writers were creating the show. But what were the best times? Is that what you're asking? There were no best times. The best times were when we all got together and looked at each other and said, "Oh, we're here." We had great times. We had great times on the set.
Was the question really directed?
I thought I was speaking.
I'm sorry. Was the question directed towards about what we felt were the highlights of our particular characters in the show?
Yes.
Is that what you were trying to ask?
Yes, exactly.
Okay, Armin, take it away! Come on!
That would take years to answer. All of us had highlights, and usually every episode had its highlights.
I could say a couple of ones that I enjoyed, and
All your scenes with me.
Drinking
the
the root
ones
beer.
I enjoyed were not with. No, actually, I have to say that the guys that we introduced over here were responsible, not completely, but responsible for bringing really wonderful actors who have had a lot of experience and ability to actually pull off the stories that they came up with. But I had a wonderful ride in this character, as you know. I started up, I was a lackey and ended up the hero of the race. But I loved my favorite one is that Armin directed.
My name is Renee.
Armin, I'm sorry.
I go by Renee.
I'm the taller one.
He's a tall one. I flew in at 6 this morning, so I'm still like running on that air. Right?
So you can't believe anything he's going to say.
Renee directed an episode where I got to stop drinking that bullshit Canar.
Hey, that was good stuff. I love watching you drink that stuff.
Only when you gave me the expensive stuff. But that was one of my favorite ones. And I think in that same episode, and I didn't even know this, Jeffrey Combs came in as that Weasel Wayun and said, "Your wife and your child have been killed." I didn't even know I had a wife and child until that moment. So,
what kind of husband were you?
well, he found me in bed with another Cardassian woman, or being or something. So, I guess not quite a good one. But those are two of my favorite times. Jeff's got 12 of them. Every episode he ever did, he thought was the best episode that was ever done.
Oh, stop. My favorite moments, well, first of all, not only do I owe a deep debt of gratitude to Ira, but I also owe it to Renee.
Boo!
I came on to Deep Space Nine neither as Brunt or as Wayun, my first episode, and I got to reconnect with Ira, with Renee. You moved. You're a moving target.
My name is Renee. It's Renee.
Malcolm, I thought it was Malcolm.
Who are you? Straight.
And he was getting ready to direct a Ferengi episode, and
That would be me, right?
Yeah, it would be you.
Okay.
And he suggested me to play Brunt. So I wouldn't be nearly as much in this universe if it weren't for you.
He's crying right now. You can't see his tears, but he is crying with gratitude.
Is that because the other actor turned it down, or what?
Yeah.
Yes, actually, yeah.
May I?
Yeah, you
say
fire
my,
away, Armin.
whenever anybody asks, well, what was your favorite episode or what was your favorite moment? You know, I don't know about you guys, but for me, people will come up to me and say, oh, I loved such and such an episode. I have no idea what they're talking about, because for me, it really became just one big 7-year story, and they all seem to flow together. So it's very hard, but sort of...
Answer the question!
I'm trying! I'm going to talk like... Now I'm going to talk like Odo. What is...
Your favorite episode?
One, no, not an episode, but one moment I remember that sticks in my mind was when Odo loses his capacity to shapeshift when he becomes a solid, and then he gets it back because of the little baby thing, whatever that was, and I became a hawk and flew away, and of course I didn't actually become a hawk. You all realize that, of course. But I had to do the move to start to become a hawk. So I had to do that, and then I had to pretend to jump up in the air, and then later in post-production with all sorts of special effects.
Yes.
Am I boring you guys?
No.
Sorry. It was one of the... It's a very weird
You know,
thing
we
to
only
do.
have a half hour.
Okay, and that was your favorite moment. That
was
is
his favorite.
really scary. That's scary.
In a very long career.
It
that was
wasn't
his
my favorite moment. I didn't say that. I said it was a moment that sticks in my mind. And another moment that sticks in my mind, another moment that sticks in my mind was when I became a top for a little girl, and I had the flu, and they made me come in anyway, and I had to turn around like this, and I threw up over everybody. That's not true.
All right, I'm going to look for another question.
Yeah. Whoa!
One down here.
Oh, yes, yes.
Just don't throw
Hello?
up today. Just
To
don't.
Renee. Oh. To Renee
That
and
would be
Armin.
me, right?
How would you describe the relationship between Odo and Quark at the end of Deep Space Nine?
Sexual. How would you describe it?
How would I describe? We were the best romantic couple on TV. Very chaste. I don't want you to tell that story. I always thought that our relationship was very close to Bones and Spock. That was the thing that in my mind as I looked at the script early on. The good news is Renee and I have a lot of similarities in our backgrounds, and like two young boys, they put us next to each other in the makeup trailer, where we just bonded more and more together, and the love that we have for each other just bled into the episodes, and the writers were smart enough to see that in the dailies and write for it. I am assuming that's correct. Yes. No.
They never paid any attention.
That's why we never spoke to our writers. You could never get a straight answer.
But you have to picture this. One of my favorite things when we were working is, for some reason, Renee, the moment they said cut, would take his makeup and rip it off of his face before he got back to the...
At the end of the day.
At the end of the day, at the end of the trailer. So
I'm selling them. I've saved them, and I have them in a box.
You know that's against the rules.
What rules?
The
Ferengi rules?
No.
I raised
Yeah,
there
rule
a
number
Ferengi rule
76.
about that. There is no rule about that.
It said in our contract, none of the prosthetics could go off the lot.
oh,
I have a box full of them. Because I would peel them very off. I didn't rip them off.
It looked like you did.
I
It did
peeled
look
them
like it.
very carefully off my face. I would take them back to the trailer and put them in a pile, and they stacked up. And if you came into my study now and found that box, you would think I was some kind of sick
Hannibal Lecter
or something. That I
Think that? Or did you know that?
Renee, you did give me one.
I did.
just want to-
I gave them away. I gave Ira one,
He ripped one off and said, "There."
and a few of them were sold for charity, and
Most of them you just get out and every night.
He puts them back on his face on Thursday nights.
I wear them to bed sometimes. My wife,
Poor Judith.
she likes it, and I wear them for ornament.
Shape shifted to this, dear.
I love it, actually. I love
We
it.
go out to dinner, and I wear the mask.
Let me ask you, when you put them on, do you I don't know.
I think we need another question. Yes.
Hi guys, my name is Fred, and right now my heart is beating with warp speed because I love you so much,
Thank
all
you,
of
Fred.
you, and now I can talk to you. My question is, we just talked about the happy moments. Can you talk about the bad moments? Did you have a situation where something went completely wrong during the shooting?
I'd like to start. And I'd like to look right this way. Yeah, it's you I want to talk to. Whose idea was it to make Quark a female? I mean, basically, guys, I think it's a good idea. I have no problem about being female. What I didn't understand is, what did you do with that episode? That was uncomfortable. Not that I was female. It's just that Quark never learned anything from being female. That was the only problem. I always got the sense, oh, wouldn't it be a great idea to make Quark female? And I'm sure that got a laugh or two in the writer's room. But it just didn't go anywhere. So that, I love the episodes. You know I love the episodes. That one I had a problem.
Are you talking about the one where, at the end of the episode, where you're a female that I'm?
No. Sit down. This is not about you, Jeff.
Because you were really hot.
I know.
You were really hot.
And that's a story I won't tell about how I ended up being that person. But that was one I didn't like. I didn't like. I think it's called, what's it called? Prophet and Lace. Prophet and Lace. Prophet and Lace. But I must say that the costume that they gave me was rather voluptuous. I had a. I've slept through a number of theirs as well. So, but you asked the question, that's one I didn't like.
Okay.
Come on, no, I've talked
And
enough.
then there was the episode that,
I've talked enough.
I can't say there wasn't any.
you didn't like the prune juice.
Oh, that
They like
canard.
the canard.
Oh my God. You know, it's an interesting story about that in filmmaking. I'll tell very quickly. You know, the writers write something, and they decide that they're going to turn my character into an alcoholic. And because I looked good sitting in your bar that one day.
You did. You look very good.
I look good sitting in anybody's bar, let me tell you that.
You got rid of the Dobble girls and just focused on you.
But anyway, they write in, and they, you know, it goes all from the writers, producers, all the way down to the prop master, the prop person who gets the props. And they say, well, what is this supposed to be? It goes all the way back up, and they say, oh, I don't know, it should look sort of thick or something. They just were tired one day and said, oh, it's thick, so it goes all the way back down, and the prop master goes, thick, what's thick? Oh, it's got to be thick. What can we get thick? Oh, Caro syrup, that's thick. So I drank Caro syrup for 2 years on that show. And I want everybody to go home, this shows you what kind of actors we are. I want everybody to go home, take a big old gulp of Caro
I don't
syrup.
know what Caro syrup is. Corn syrup.
Corn syrup, you know, corn syrup. Or let's say,
Prune juice.
No, it wasn't juice, I could have handled that. But go home, take a big swig of that, and act like it tastes good.
Well, it's a classical actor if I ever saw
The
it.
second,
This is sort of apropos of nothing. But I was passing by earlier, and I saw Michael Dorn and Gates were up here. And I just passed by and I stopped for a second. And Michael was telling a story about how he joined our company and how we were all very serious. And he was singing a little song, and I didn't quite know what that was about. And we were very serious on the set. And he said, and then he joined the show, and he was very jolly because they were very jolly on TNG. They had pretty colors, and it was fun on their show, and so they laughed a lot. And he said, we had so much fun. But then we were very serious like this, he said. He said, but after a few months, he broke us of the habit of being
Bullshit.
serious. That was, he actually got very serious because he could never remember his lines, is the truth of the matter. But the fact is, no, he was a great addition to the show. I adore the man. But the fact is...
But we did get overtime. We did get overtime.
We got a lot of overtime because of him. It was serious on our set. That was one of the things that my training made me comfortable. I liked the fact that it was serious on the set. I love to laugh and be silly, as we're showing you right now, but...
Or you are, but...
yeah.
Continue, Mr. Auberjonois.
I don't want to continue, but anyway, so it wasn't, there weren't bad, when you work for 7 years, it gets very intense, and like a family, there are times when there are very difficult times, and then there are times where it's one of the joys of being in a company where you get to know each other so well, and your way of working with each other, the shortcuts, there are things you don't even have to talk about, you know. And it's true, you know, when we get a script, you know, the writers know you, and they begin to write whether the music for you, because they know what your instrument can do and what your instrument can't do, and so they will avoid things that they know that you're not going to be comfortable doing. And anyway, I've said enough about that.
Bravo.
No, it's true. It's very true, because you have to understand. Renee Shimmerman, ladies and gentlemen. When you work on a show like this, at any given day, there's probably 100 people on that soundstage, and so you know you like to think, oh, what were the fun parts and this and that, but it's an enormous amount of money every single day is put into these operations. So you're hired as a professional. If you come in and you can't do the job, you are not going to be there very long, because millions of dollars are spent producing these things. And if you look at the end of a television show or end of a movie and how many names are on the list of the credits, from the top, from above the title to all the way back down, it's a big business, and you're a professional, and you're hired as a professional, and you come around. That's what he did on the set, and that's why he's not on the show anymore.
That's right. Another question.
Over there, yes.
Hi.